today on this tutorial. For today's tutorial, we're learning how to make a ruffle sleeves. So that is the tutorial for today. Okay, as you can see here, I have my sleeves cut out already. This is a basic sleeves. So the first thing you do is to cut out your basic sleeves. So if you don't know how to cut a basic sleeves, I'll be leaving a link on my description box on how to cut a basic sleeves. So the first thing you do is to get your sleeves ready. Okay, so as you can see, my sleeve is ready. I have two of it, but I'll be working with one for now. So the next thing, my basic sleeve is ready. Okay, so the next thing I will do right now is uh, you after you're getting your basic sleeves, so you go ahead and cut out your net or your tooling net. So this is the net we'll be working on today, you understand? So as you can see here, I have stripes of net already cut out. I have enough of it stripes. You cut as many that can cover your sleeve. Okay, so I have cut it out, and the whiteness I used 2 inches whiteness. The whiteness is 2 inches. Okay, but you can use the whiteness of your choice. You can use 2 or 2.5, depending on what you want. So but I cut out 2 inches. As for the length, you can cut as many as you want. As you can see, this is this one. So I cut out more, another one. So this is how you continue to cut it enough to be able to cover up your sleeves by the time we make the ruffles. So if you watch here, you can see I've already made some ruffles here already. I have this. So what I did was I went to my sewing machine. I ran a gathering stitch on it. You pick, so you run a gathering stitch on this the middle part of the neck that you have cut out, on the 2 inches neck you cut out. So in the middle, like this, on it you sew. You make use of your gathering stitch, the longest stitch on the sewing machine. That is the gathering stitch. Or if you have a gathering foot, so that one you can use it to make your ruffles, you understand? So after sewing it, you keep pulling it. For those who doesn't have a gathering foot, so you keep pulling, you pull it to your desired fullness, how full you want it. You keep pulling. So that is how I got these ruffles I have here. As you can see, this is how I got them. So after making um sewing, preparing all the ruffles down, so you go ahead and gather them to your choice. So after everything is set, you must have finished gathering and your ruffles are ready. So the next thing you do right now on your basic sleeve, so if you are not using lining to turn, if you won't be using lining to turn your sleeves, so you go ahead, like mine, I won't be using lining on this sleeve right now. So I'll go ahead and fold it. I will be folding the down part, after which I will be leaving I will mark out my allowance, all the allowance I left. Right, remember when you're cutting your sleeve, you after getting the normal sleeve round, you add allowance, like sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead and mark out that sewing allowance I left on my sleeve. It could be 1 inch or half an inch, so you mark it out on both sides. So after that, then on this part will be joining to the top. We'll be joining it to the sleeve, to the armhole, the top part here. So I'll be joining this to this top. So here we'll be joining. So this part, you go ahead and mark out half inches. You mark out your half inches, okay, so that we use it to join it to this to your top. All right, so that is it about ruffle sleeves. Please guys, if today is your first time of coming into my channel, please kindly subscribe and hit notification button so that whenever I upload new videos you will get notified. All right guys, so I'll go right on my sewing machine. I'll be folding, but if you'll be using a lining to turn your sleeves, so what you do, so guys, if you'll be using lining to turn your sleeve, what you do right now, you go ahead and leave your sewing allowance here. So when you are sewing on your, so this is how you attach it. After which I've folded my fabric, so I've marked out the allowance on this side. So what I will do right now, I'll be placing it. You open the middle part, your ruffles, you have to open it up. So the thread where we made a stitch, we made gathering stitch on the middle part like this. So when you open it up, so you place it this way and you sew on it, on the middle. So you sew, you understand? So I will sew it this way. But if I'll be turning with lining, I'll be leaving allowance, after which I must have finished attaching my ruffles, you understand? So I will place my lining and sew, then turn it um inside. So that is how we make this ruffles. But I won't be using lining, so I'll just go ahead and fold the down part. After folding, then I will, after which I've marked out my allowance by the side, I will be placing it here on that mat. That allowance you have marked, you place it this way and you open it up. So I'll be opening it like this. You open the middle part, so, and you sew on it. So this is how you keep sewing and sewing until you cover all your sleeves. All right guys, so let me go to the sewing machine. I will do what I've illustrated here, then I'll come and show us how it looks like. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm gathering it. So I want to teach you guys another way of gathering, because you can see that it will take you more time to run a gathering stitch. You understand? Running a gathering stitch on this net, on these stripes of net, it will take more, and it's also waste of this thing, a net, a waste of thread. So this is how I come up. I'm gathering mine now. As you can see, I'll sew. You lay the needle, you stick the needle here. So here I have my needle in place. So what I will do, I will lift it up. I'll use my hands to gather it. I'm using my hands to gather. I will gather to the fullest I want, then I will sew. I will sew it a bit, then I'm gathering it. As I'm gathering with my hands, then I will sew. You see, this is how I'm making this ruffle. So you can go ahead and run a gathering stitch like I said earlier on, but you can also use this method. I think this is easier. So not like after running the stitch you go ahead and start pulling and pulling. So I gather it directly on my sewing machine. I see if I'm using a gathering foot. You keep folding it. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, like folding it using your hands to, you use your fingers to pull. You are pulling it as if you are gathering. If it's full, you sew. You see, you can see this one is easier. You pull, you are shifting it, like pushing it this way. You are pushing it in, pushing it. I'm just trying to let you guys see what I'm doing. You use your hands here, your fingers to push. You push, but you make sure your needle is like stuck inside. Then you push and push and push. You are gathering it like that. So after which you sew, you run a stitch. Then you let your needle be inside. You can see. Then you lift it up. I'm lifting this thing, my you lift it up, then you continue gathering. You continue gathering it you pull, you gather with your fingers, you are gathering. So as you can see now, then I will sew it, then I'll keep gathering it. So this is how I think this way is easier for me than running a gathering stitch on all the plenty stripes, after which you go ahead and start pulling it again. So this method is more like I'm using a gathering foot, obviously. So okay guys, so let me continue. I will show you guys. Okay guys, this is the how far I've come. As you can see, the ruffles I've sewn like 1 2 3 stripes already. So let me show you guys how you attach the next ruffle. So what you do, you shift, like you shift it, you lift this the last part that you have sewn. So you place it on the this on your allowance. So after which you put it on your sewing machine. Make sure you lift um these ones, the previous one that you have, so you open it up this way, then you place it inside and you sew. So you keep lifting it up, the previous ones, so that it will be able to the fullness, the ruffle will be full. But if you don't want it, you can as well just sew like this on it, but it depends on how full you want it. So I want this one to close up, so I will lift the previous ones, the ruffles, I will lift it up, then I will push in like ½ inch away from the previous stitches I made. So here, so you lift it up. Have you seen? It's easier when you gather with your hands instead of running a stitch. You can see this one, because when you make a gathering stitch and pull, it's difficult to get the middle point. I don't know if you guys understand. So it's always difficult getting the midpoint to sew on it. So but when you use this method, like using your hands to gather it, you find out that it's easier. When you are sewing on it, you find the midpoint very easy, like the middle where you run the stitches. You can see it is easier to sew, it's easy to open up. So this is how far I've come with this sewing. I will continue this way until I cover up all my sleeves. Okay, guys, so this is how far I've come. So I think I have to stop here. So that's how you continued you continue ruffling. The more you ruffle, the more you sew. So this is how you do, and you cover up all your sleeves. So that is how to make a ruffle sleeves. As you can see the ruffles are nice already. So I'll go ahead and cover all the sleeves up. I'll do it both on both sleeves. Okay guys, so I think we'll come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, please kindly give me a thumbs up and subscribe, hit notification button, so that whenever I upload new videos, you will get notified. Thank you so much for watching guys. Bye.